I'm back! Cue clapping sound effects.
I'm depending on your son to pull the family through. My son, it's all left up to you.
You're cheering, it's Patches cheering his ice cream. So, I am back with sit-down videos. I'm very excited. I'm going to have to play with the lighting the next couple of weeks because I don't know if this lighting is going to be good. I've never filmed here before. Two of my light bulbs broke, so I only have this one. And I don't know if I'm going to want to keep the kitchen light on or off, this door open or shut. I can't decide. So we're just going to have to play with it. I think I might put a flower here or something. I feel like this spot needs something. Oh, here, tea time. There we go. I don't know. That might not stay. But anyway, so I am back. I'm very excited to be able to edit again with my great editing app I love. So yeah, today's video I wanted to talk about how I decided to get a service dog and how I picked out Patches. I've never actually talked about it before. I did, but it was really kind of a crappy video. Because it wasn't a sit-down video, it was like on my phone. So I thought I would do a more like official version. I'll probably also keep my intro because I really like the way my intro is now. So I'll probably keep it. I'll decide later if I want to change it or not. So anyways, I'm so excited I can edit again. So how I came about Patches and decided to get a service dog and all that jazz was I was sick for a year. You know me, I don't talk about really much of my medical stuff online, so I'm not gonna like mention all that. But I was basically on the couch for a year, or over a year. And through that time I was kind of looking into service dogs. I followed some service dog YouTubers. I was just kind of, you know, learning the laws, the ADA. Sadly, for a smidge of time I thought service dogs needed registration because you look up service dog, the first thing to pop up are, you want to play ball now? I've tried to film this video so many times, guys. First my battery died, then my memory card is full. I forgot how much work YouTube takes. So now my dog wants to play. One of the times the maintenance guy came because he had to fix something. So anyway, so I was kind of researching service dogs for a year before I and actually it was a little longer than a year because right after I got my pet dog was kind of when I was like, oh, I could have gotten a service dog and I could have actually been trained to help me do stuff, but I didn't. I was uneducated. I didn't really know about psychiatric service dogs or about medical alert dogs. Like, I knew some medical alerts, like, actually I don't think that's true. I knew guide dogs. I don't even know if I knew there was, like, diabetes dogs. Like, I was just, you know, ill-informed, never really thought about it. So I started looking into service dogs and what one could do for me. Then I made a pro and con list of, you know, getting a service dog. You know, pro would be that he could make me live an independent life because I could not be moved out right now if it wasn't for him. And a con would be public access issues or people trying to pet them and I had to learn to stand up for myself, that kind of thing. So I made a pro and con list, and then I looked into organizations at first because I was like, how am I ever going to train a dog? That seemed impossible, really hard, didn't think I could do it. So I looked into organizations, but the ones around where I live, were like, you know, thousands of dollars, and you had to, and they were years long. So they were like thousands of dollars and like 7 to 10 years long, and because I needed a non-shedding breed specifically because of some of my disabilities, then that would have took even longer because I needed a special breed, not just, you know, a golden doodle, I almost said, not just a golden retriever. So I looked, you know, then into what kind of dog I would want to get, and organizations, and then when I decided organizations weren't going to work, I started looking at, get it! Good boy! Owner training a dog, and by doing that I looked, you know, on YouTube about like how to task train because that's what I thought was going to be hard. I was definitely wrong. The hardest part about training your own service dog is public access. You know, ignoring people, ignoring dogs, ignoring foods on the shelf, staying in a tuck. That's all the hard stuff. The easy stuff is task training. You almost made my camera fall. To different breeders, and I went to a couple of shelters before I knew exactly what breed I needed. Which my shelters, all they have are old dogs and small dogs and pit bulls, none of which were my needs. Yes, pit bulls can be good service dogs. I've met a great pit service dog personally. That's not my need with a lot of things, especially, the shedding and things like that. So that's when I looked into breeders. And I looked into quite a bit of breeders, met quite a few puppies, really cute puppies. Glad I didn't just go with my first pick, because I probably would have had I not had someone there saying, is he going to even work for a service dog? Because I bond to dogs super easy. My first, and I forgot to mention too, and then once I also started the puppies, I had to rehome my 5-pound pet. The reason I rehomed him was, one, because I can't handle or afford 2 dogs. That's a lot for me to handle, even if one is only 5 pounds. That's just a lot to have a 60-pound dog on one side and a 5-pound dog on the other, not going everywhere. Obviously, he was just a pet. But I mean, like, just for walks and just for basic keep, that's a lot. Grooming needs and all, and all the expenses that come with dogs. And so, but also I didn't want my prospect to pick up bad habits, because my pet was definitely a pet. So he begged. He loved to drink coffee. That's an interesting fact about him. It was so weird. The cup was literally as big as him, and he would drink it in a second. If we went in, if we left him in the room with a cup of coffee unattended, he would literally have it completely gone. So he would beg, he would bark. He wouldn't bark outside like at dogs, but from inside he would bark at everything, even just the wind making noise. He just barked. And then he was anxious. There was just a lot. You don't want a prospect service dog to pick up. And so I ended up having to rehome him. And yes, it was very hard and devastating. I loved that dog. It was super, super hard. I cried for a while. It was sad. But I knew it was best for both of us. I knew he needed more than what I was giving. He needed a backyard, not just going on walks at the park. And he needed more than what I was providing them. Sometimes you get a dog and your lifestyle is not what they need. Sometimes they need a bigger house or even a smaller house. Patches actually does better in smaller houses, which is weird to me. But yeah, so sometimes they just need... Thought he was going to accidentally run into the camera. Good boy. So I had to rehome him. It was best for both of us. He would have got too jealous to see me with another dog. Good, careful. It went right to the thing. I thought he was going to go after it. Good boy. Good boy. And so that's that. So I ended up having to rehome him. Then I started to look for golden doodles. I looked at quite a bit of breeders. I found one breeder, and she let me have him for a trial to get him temperament tested and things like that. There were a lot of red flags I should have listened to. I didn't. But he ended up having hip dysplasia or hip problems. We think he must have been stepped on by a horse or something, but his hips were not in line. When you saw him walk, his butt was not in line. It was the creepiest thing. It literally looked like he was 2 parts. And he slept all the time because he was in so much pain, laid on the cold hard floor because he was in just so much pain. It was so sad. Couldn't even jump on the couch. It was really sad. Not a puppy at all. Thankfully he was on a trial, so we got our money back, but a week later I ended up having to, give him back because of all the issues, which was really hard, especially after rehoming my first dog, and I bond with dogs super fast. It was hard. So for Patches, I looked for him much more carefully. And the first doodle I looked at, he was super cute. He was black, and he had a little white, it looked almost like a bow tie on his chest, so I was going to name him Bentley. And so it was really, really devastating. Then I went and looked for more golden doodles. So I checked, and I went with an F1B golden doodle because that for health reasons, because they can be more healthier than if I went more down the line, F2s and stuff like that. And also because they have more poodles, so there's less likelihood of shedding, and an F1B, which is an F1B back cross. So his mom was a 50-50 golden doodle and his dad was poodle. So then I went to his enemy. got his ball. Is that a good ball? So then I looked at a lot of breeders, went a lot of places to look at a lot of breeders, and then I saw Patches' breeder, and and actually I saw her not saw, but I mean I found her online when I just got done looking at another group of puppies who didn't work because I could tell by their temperament and stuff and how they were connecting to me. And a lot of golden doodle breeders keep them outside, which isn't good because then they can't get used to being inside very easily. That's one of the problems with golden doodle breeders I've found is that they keep them outside. Maybe it's other breeders too, but I've just noticed with golden doodles that a lot of times they keep them outside. So anyway, so then I found Patches' breeder, and she had just had, her dogs. She actually had 2 dogs that were both having litters around the same, within a week from each other. It was an accident because they didn't think one could get pregnant and then it did. So it was an accident, but they had 2 dogs from 2 different dads too, by the way, who were going to have puppies around the same time. Ones were F1 50-50 golden doodles and the other was the F1Bs. So we contacted her and we got first pick of the litter. I got a text message. I got another text message. So we got first pick of the litter, or at least of the boys, because I knew I wanted a male. I just connect better with male dogs. I know some people connect better with female dogs, some people male dogs. I just like male dogs. I feel like I connect with them more, I bond with them more. I feel like they're just more cuddly towards me. I like a boy dog, which is funny because I'm really girly. I like pink and things, so it's funny that I connect more to male dogs. But I do. I just like boy dogs. So she actually only had, out of the litter I was getting from, she only had 3 males. So I was very lucky enough to have gotten first pick of all of the boys. So I really got to pick the one I connected with and connected with me. So we went down there when they were old enough, which was like a week later, probably maybe 2 weeks later, I don't know. It was when they were old enough to be introduced to people and stuff. So we went down there and I held all 3 of the boys. The first one I held was so cute. He was, the first 2 actually were around the same colors. They were both really apricot color. Really cute. But the first one I held, he just wanted down. He was like whining, looking at the floor. He just wanted me to set him back down in the pen. That didn't work because he obviously wasn't going to choose me, and he obviously wasn't very lovey kind of a dog, or at least not to me. I mean, I don't know. Dogs have personalities. They really do pick the person who they connect with. And then the second dog, he was really licking. He licked me a lot, and because of my sensory processing disorder or whatever, I don't like to be licked by dogs. I'm like, no thank you. So he licked me a lot, so that I didn't think was gonna work. Oh, and also, by the way, my breeder had already temperament tested all of the boys, by the way, so they were all temperament tested for a service dog. Then the last one I held was Patches, and I should see who that is. I'm too busy filming, so I can see you later. So then I held Patches as the very last dog, and he was just so sweet. He just laid in my arms. He was the biggest one of, I think, the litter. He was already 13 pounds, and he was like a pound when he was born. I think he was the biggest one out of his litter. But I just held him, and he just laid in my arms, kept sleeping. It's so sweet. I pet him and cuddled him a lot. And then I set him down in the pen, and he came right over by me and laid down at the edge of the pen where the puppies stayed. So it was so sweet. He was so, we really chose each other. We really did. So he was really sweet. So I decided that he was going to be my prospect puppy because he was temperament tested, and And my breeder did biosensory training with all the pups, which is fantastic. It helps so they don't have a fear period. He's never had an official fear period, or at least not like a big one like most dogs do. He's never had like an official fear period. I really believe in biosensory training dogs. So if you're thinking of raising service dogs or you're a breeder, because even for pets I would recommend it, do biosensory training. It really, really helps them not form fears. You can look it up all day long. I don't think I really should explain it. Maybe I'll make a video explaining what it is. But yeah, so she did biosensory training, so I was pretty confident. It really sets them up for service work. I know all of his family history, like with health and genetics and all that stuff. I even know some of who became service dogs, so it all worked out there. So yeah, so that's how I decided to pick him up. And then he still wasn't old enough to go home for like another week or two. And so, so 2 weeks later, I came back and picked him up. And it was a 4-hour drive each way, I think 4.5 hours. Like, it was a long day. It was an all-day event. We left really early in the morning and we got back really late in the evening. It was an all-day process picking him up. But as soon as he saw me, he ran over to the fence. He remembered, or like the gate pin where the dogs were in again, inside. He remembered who I was right away. He ran right over and looked right up at me. So sweet. He definitely picked me. And then she handed him to me, and there we go. We started our journey together. She gave me a little toy for him, which he still has. I actually put it in that bag over there, but she gave me a little toy and a little piece of blanket that smells like the litter to help him transition better, and a little bag of dog food, and a whole binder saying like all the genetics of his family, and like the like even some like training tips and stuff like that. And the whole way home he didn't get sick, which was good. He's never been car sick, but that was surprising. First time in the car is an 8-week-old puppy, and he didn't get sick once. He didn't even have an accident. Like, I picked up other dogs, and they've always puked on me, always peed on me. Like, it's been a mess. I brought so many extra changes of clothes and towels and things because I was prepared. But no, he never got sick at all. I had potty pads down just in case, but he didn't get sick, which was shocking. Of course, we stopped about every hour and let him stretch his legs and go potty and that kind of thing, get him a drink of water. But yeah, so from there we started our journey together. And then I think I'll just keep going this story a little more. And then after I picked him up, we started basic training, sit down, all the things. I have videos of all that stuff too. And then we moved into more advanced training at 6 months old. However, after knowing what I know now and training him, I would say my next prospect, I'll start service dog training at 1. I think 6 months is too young. Everything online will tell you 6 months, but after having a really good behaviorist, she said 1, and I agree with her. Actually, she said 2, I think. I would argue 1 or 1.5, honestly. But yeah, so next time I'm not gonna start him as young as I did Patches. Patches has worked beautifully, but I do think they need that year. And Doodles are smart. That's why it was so hard. I mean, he learned all basics: sit, down, touch, in a day. For each one, I didn't obviously overstimulate him and do them all in one day. But each day he learned, in like 5 seconds, he learned high five. No joke. I did high five once, moved to stance me, and after that he got it. He was potty trained in 2 days. He learned commands in like less than 5 minutes for each like sit, for each like touch it, down, sit, stay, those kind of things. He learned in literally less than 5 minutes. He learned tasks to retrieve my medicines in less than a day. So he's learned super fast, and that's why I say is I know people online will be like, well, he's mature for it. Unless his brain suddenly matures faster than his peers, then no, he's not. I mean, he might be smart, but smartness and maturity are 2 completely different things. A dog can be smart, they can even be eager to learn, but that doesn't mean they're mature to be in public and to be task training and to be ready to spend the rest of their life doing a job. So that's why I say I would argue 1 next time. But I did start him at 6 months, and then at probably around 11 months, I realized that I should have waited until 1 because he needed that year to be a puppy. So I pulled him from public until about, I think it was like literally a week before he turned 2. Well, maybe he was about 1 when I pulled him then. It wasn't that long. I think it was like he was out for like 8 months, I think. And then I started introducing it because he was more mature now. And he did better than ever. He literally was perfect. Like, before that he was still puppy brained, but he had had time to mature. He had had time to grow up and to just experience a puppyhood. That he really was ready to work. He was ready to take on a job. My lungs are getting tired, so sorry if my voice is getting a little coarse. It's starting to act up. Talking does that, which is one of the reasons sit-down videos are a little harder on me because I talk a lot, and that acts up some of my stuff. So anyway, so I started that at 6 months, like official service dog training in public and things like that. And then I pulled him, and then I started him up again, then. And now he's almost 3. I can't believe he's going to be 3 in about 5 months, 4 months, something like that. Of course, I'll do some kind of video for his birthday. I don't know what though, because I've done all my good ideas the last 2 years. But anyway, so now he is a full trained service dog. He still learns tasks, but by the ADA's definition, he is a full service dog. And I just add tasks here or there as I think this might be helpful, this might be helpful, this might be good, So even though he's a full service dog, he can still be learning tasks. Obviously, their training never is over. I thought my camera turned off for a minute. Obviously, their training is never through. A service dog is always in training. We go out and train almost every day. I enjoy it. It gives me something to do. He likes it, so it's good for us. So I think that's how I've come across my service dog. If you're looking for a prospect, I could offer some tips. First tip. Write down your pros and cons, because there is a pro and con to having a service dog. If the pros outweigh the cons, then, that's a good idea for you. But, if you have anxiety, then, severe anxiety, is one of my components, then is people coming up and talking to you going to trigger you? Because even if you have patches on that say, stay away from handler, triggers anxiety, people don't read them. So you need to think, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able, especially if you're owner training, I'm going to kind of specific these to owner training dogs. If you're not going to owner train, then that's a different video. But specific to my situation, if you're planning to owner train, then you need to think, okay, well, am I going to be able to owner train a dog with my anxiety? Because it's a lot of work. They make mistakes. Your state also has to recognize the service dog training. I personally don't know how we would do it otherwise. I'm thankful my state recognizes the service dog training. But, so you need to think, is it going to be okay if he makes mistakes? Is it going to trigger me every time? Are people coming up, even if you get a trained dog, are people coming up to me or going to trigger my anxiety? Because that's going to happen. People are going to stare. People are going to come up to you. People are going to take pictures of you without your permission, videos without your permission. I had someone Skype me to his girlfriend without my permission. So you kind of need to think, okay, well, is this going to trigger anything and make it worse, or is it going to make it better? Also, another thing you need to think about is, am I going to be able to take care of a dog's needs? Apparently my camera died. Well, it didn't die. On this camera I can only film 20 minutes at a time, which kind of sucks for someone who likes to talk a lot. So I don't know where I left off. I wish I knew, but I was going to look back at it, but it's just a lot of work to do, so I didn't. My lungs are getting tired, so I'm going to about end this video soon. So, anyway, so pros and cons. Look for a reputable breeder. Look for red flags. Make sure you see where the puppies sleep, stay, meet their mom at least, so that way you can kind of get an idea of their temperament. Make sure you temperament test the dogs. Make sure you choose each other. Really choose a dog you connect with, you bond with, not just for colors. Make sure you choose one that you connect with and bond with. So, I think that's going to be it for today's vlog. I'm used to vlogging now. Video, because my lungs are getting tired. I was going to talk a little more about how I went with Patches' training, but I think I really explained everything, hopefully, if you got it. I don't know how much I talked in the last 20 minutes. So, I think that's going to be it for today's video. If you have any other ideas for any other videos, because I am back at filming sit-down videos. Oh, I have a headache. Oh. I am back at filming sit-down videos. So, if you have any ideas for any videos, then don't hesitate to comment below. Or you can message me on Instagram at officiallyvideoslife. Well, actually, it's officially_videos_life. It used to be at officiallyvideoslife, but it was kind of hard to read, so I added the underscores. I wish you could use spaces. But anyway, Patches lost his ball under the couch, so I will help him get it out in just 5 seconds and read those text messages that someone's been sending me. So, anyway, please like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Show 'em then in tears he said,